Welcome back. Thom Hartmann here with you. Just got an email from the Allied Progress. It's one of the progressive groups out there. AlliedProgress.org is the website. About a new piece of legislation that Jeb Hensarling, by the way, was one of the guys in the caucus room conspiracy. If you read Robert Draper's book, When the Tea Party Came to Town, in the introduction to that book, he lays out the whole caucus room conspiracy where these, I think it was 17 Republicans got together the night of President Obama's inauguration, January 20th in 2009, the night of his inauguration, and along with Newt Gingrich and Frank Luntz, and swore an oath to each other. Jim DeMint, by the way, was there. He was a senator at the time. He just got fired from the Heritage Foundation yesterday, which is kind of weird and interesting, and I don't have a comment about that other than just noting it. But in any case, they swore that they would do everything they could to destroy Obama's presidency. You know, America's first black president? Are you kidding? I don't think anybody said that out loud like that. It wasn't quoted in Draper's book, but it sure seems to me like that was the essence of it. I asked Newt Gingrich about this on this program about that. And he came right out and said, yeah, we did that. We committed to each other that we were going to do everything we could to block him. We are the opposition. That's what the opposition does. Now, that's not my understanding of what the opposition does. I mean, they committed to block Obama even on things with which they agreed. And my understanding of what the opposition does is it stands on its principles. These guys did not stand on principle. And this is one of the reasons, after 8 years of this, that so many Americans are so disrespectful of Congress because of the behavior of the Republicans over the last 8 years. And particularly the last year, when they would not even allow Merrick Garland's hearing, even allow him a hearing to be put on the Supreme Court. Now, instead, we've got a right-wing crank to the right of Scalia on the Supreme Court. But anyhow, Jeb Hensarling, the congressman from Texas, who was one of the members of the caucus room conspiracy, just introduced legislation that was just passed out of, it was introduced a little while ago, but it just passed the House Financial Services Committee, which he's a member of. It's titled the Financial Choice Act. And as Tucker Middleton from Allied Progress writes in a note to me, he said it would gut protections from working families, protections that were established in the wake of the financial crisis caused by Wall Street fraud and recklessness. And the committee, the Republican members of the House Financial Services Committee that just passed this legislation out to the Congress, to the floor. I mean, Paul Ryan's going to have to call for a vote, but it's now available to be voted on by the House of Representatives. In aggregate, just the Republicans on the committee took $32 million from the financial services industry. This is the story. This morning, the House Financial Services Committee advanced legislation authored by its chairman, Representative Jeb Hensarling, our Texas, that guts protections established by the Dodd Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act, passed in the wake of the 2008 financial crisis. Hensarling suggested his Wall Street giveaway soon will be scheduled for a full vote by the House. According to the Center for Responsive Politics, Republican members of that committee have received at least $32,211,535 from the financial industry. Carl Frisch, the executive director of Allied Progress, said the Financial Choice Act is a deceptively named Wall Street giveaway that rewards the bankers and hedge fund managers who have showered Representative Hensarling and other members of the House Financial Services Committee with tens of millions of dollars in campaign cash. Wall Street is getting what they paid for, and it is hardworking Americans who will be left holding the bag. He continued, Representative Hensarling's Financial Choice Act is so extreme, it even erases protections that predate the financial crisis, allowing Wall Street and predatory lenders to once again prey on consumers without repercussions. This legislation almost entirely eliminates the powers of the Consumer Bureau to act forcefully against unfair, abusive, and predatory practices in consumer lending. It is clear the Financial Choice Act is the wrong choice for working families. And, here's some of the stuff it'll do. It'll eliminate the Volcker rule that stops banks from gambling with taxpayer money. It will repeal the Financial Stability Oversight Council's ability to detect signs of another potential financial crisis. Victoria referred to this in her newscast this afternoon. It will gut the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's authority to hold credit card companies, banks, payday lenders, debt collectors, and other predatory financial industries accountable. Totally gut it. The legislation even goes so far as to roll back important protections that predate the financial crisis. This is going to take us not just back to, like, what doing away with Glass-Steagall did in '99, but it's going to take us which had stood since 1933. It's going to take us to pre-1933. It's going to take us back to 1929. I mean, you think there might be a crash coming? You think these guys are just these complete sellouts? I mean, it's just beyond astonishing. It's just beyond astonishing how the Republican, and this is something that's really worth calling your member of Congress about, that they're trying to gut Dodd Frank just because the members of, just the Republicans on the committee took $32 million from the banksters. Their votes are apparently a little more expensive than the votes of everybody, all the other Republicans, to just gut our privacy with regard to the internet, a topic that we went off on at some length a couple of weeks ago. We'll be right back.